When I was 11, I quit because there's just a lot of family problems at home, and I wasn't interested that much in music. I didn't see how it was relevant in my life, so I quit. And my cello teacher at the time, Sarah, just refused to let me quit. She would come into my house, knock, leave notes, call all the time. So I came back, and at that time, they hired a new violinist, Jessie Montgomery. She's like, all right, this is my first year. Promise me you'll stick it out with me the remainder of the year. And I was like, all right, I promise. So at that time, I was still in the mood. It's like, I don't want to be here. But after that year was over, and like I had kept my promise, I like loved it. Like I had loved everything I was doing. I joined Phase 2, which helped out so much because I was around kids my age. We had responsibilities. We had to practice more. I was more involved, and I think having more responsibility made me feel like I mattered more, and like my presence there mattered, because at such a young age, you know, I go in for a once a week lesson. I don't feel like it's that much of a community, but once I joined Phase 2, it mattered that we were there. At least that's the way I felt, and having that extra responsibility made me want to work hard to keep their respect and keep making sure that they knew that I could handle that responsibility. So after that, like, they all became a family to me, and they were there for me when it was like such a hard time for me at home.
We'll accept anybody who lives in one of our zip codes, regardless of talent. There's no audition, no nothing. And once you're in the program, we try really hard to retain our students. Even when our students lose interest in music, we try really hard to keep them in the program. And to try to get them interested in a different aspect of the program, be it our media lab, where they get to do digital music composition on computers, or fiddling, or improvisation, or just coming to talk to their teacher every week about school. It's more important that the student is involved in the program than it is that they become a fabulous musician.
I think overall it's definitely shaped who I am. Like I said, when I was first here, I was a shy person. I can remember the first time we were at a house concert somewhere in Rhode Island, and Sebastian was like, do you want to say a speech? And I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, go out, like, before the concert, go tell them how CMW has changed their life. And I'm like, what? But I did it, and ever since then, every time we go to a house concert, they're always like, Kirby, say something. Because, you know, I think in general, my public speaking is pretty good compared to my friends. I speak pretty well. And it was because CMW, Sebastian pushed me out there. That's what he does. He pushed me out there to, you know, go speak. And ever since then, I have not been shy. Like, I'm in charge of, you know, when someone wants to hire our quartet to play, I'm in charge of calling them, you know, booking the gig, all that, like, stuff. Like, I am used to working with people because of CMW. They, like, basically showed me that I can be a strong, independent person who's very resourceful.
The zip codes that we work on are predominantly low-income communities. Kids who grow up in this neighborhood have fairly low expectations of themselves. The schools are underfunded. The schools have low expectations for their students. And what Community MusicWorks is all about saying is that, look, we're world-class musicians. We live in the West End. We live in the South End. And we perform in the West End and in the South End. And we teach in the West End and the South End. To date, all 100% of our graduated seniors have gone to college, which is far above our community's average. So yeah, certainly we hope, and I think it's safe to say we do see the difference that Community MusicWorks makes in our students and in their lives.